Welcome to Motivational Humanity. You are not alone. You've been through enough to know that the loudest pain doesn't always make a sound. There are people in this world, maybe you're one of them, who, when they are truly, deeply hurting, go completely silent. No tears in front of anyone, no big dramatic argument, no long explanations, just two familiar, exhausted words, "I'm fine." But we both know that's not what they mean. What they really mean in the quietest corner of their heart is, please, just give me a moment. I can't do this right now. And here's where the people who love them, or the person looking in the mirror, get it so terribly, heartbreakingly wrong. Because that silence, it is not coldness. It is not manipulation. It is not a wall built to keep you out. That silence is the sound of someone holding themselves together with everything they have left. And today, I want to sit with you in that silence. I want to help you understand what is really happening inside the person who goes quiet, what their nervous system is experiencing, where it comes from, and how to gently, lovingly reach them without breaking what's already fragile. Stay with me, because what I'm going to share next might be the most important thing you've ever understood about the people or the part of yourself that you thought you just couldn't reach. The very first thing we have to let go of is a belief that most of us carry without even realizing it. We believe that choosing to speak up or choosing to stay silent is a rational decision, something a person consciously controls, but that is simply not true. And understanding why changes everything. There's a beautiful, profound area of science brought to life by a researcher named Dr. Stephen Porges through something called polyvagal theory that shows us the nervous system has its own wisdom, its own language, completely separate from our thinking mind. When we feel safe and connected, our nervous system hums along in what scientists call social engagement. This is when we can speak from the heart. We can say gently and clearly, "What you said to me today really hurt." We have access to our words. We feel grounded enough to use them. But as stress begins to rise, as the heart speeds up and the chest tightens, we enter what you probably know as fight or flight. This is when voices get louder, when words become weapons, when someone storms out of the room or comes back swinging. And then there is a third place, the deepest place, the most ancient, most misunderstood place of all. When the pain becomes truly overwhelming, when the nervous system decides in its primal wisdom that fighting will only make things worse and that escaping isn't possible, it does the only thing left. It shuts down. Scientists call this dorsal vagal shutdown, or the freeze state. And I want you to picture it with me for a moment. Imagine a phone that's been plugged into too many things at once. The screen flickers. And then, to protect the entire system from burning out completely, it goes dark. That is what you are seeing when someone you love goes silent mid-argument. That is what is happening inside you when the words just won't come. Physiologically, the heart rate drops, the muscles lock, and most importantly, the part of the brain that handles logic, language, and rational thought, the prefrontal cortex, temporarily disconnects from the emotional center, the amygdala. In plain, gentle terms, language gets locked away behind a door that won't open, no matter how hard anyone pushes. So when you stand in front of them and you ask, maybe with love, maybe with frustration, "Why won't you just talk to me? Why are you being like this?" You are, without knowing it, asking someone with a shattered ankle to sprint. Their silence is not rejection. It is the body's most ancient, most merciful act of self-protection. In that moment, 100% of their energy is being used simply to not fall apart in front of you. And that, my friend, deserves tenderness, not pressure. But the nervous system doesn't learn to freeze overnight. It is taught, slowly, over years, often by experiences that left marks too deep for words. From a psychological perspective, there are 3 core reasons why someone becomes a person who goes quiet when they're hurting. And I want you to hold these gently, because one of them, maybe more than one, might feel very familiar. No child is born knowing how to hide their pain. Babies cry. Toddlers throw themselves on the floor. Little ones run to the person they love most and say, "I'm hurting. I need you." Expression, raw, honest, unfiltered, is the most natural thing in the world. But a pioneering psychologist named John Bowlby, who spent his life studying how we attach to the people we love, showed us something that should stop us in our tracks. The way we handle emotional pain as adults is a mirror of how the most important people in our childhood responded to our pain. If you grew up in a home where crying was called dramatic, where sadness was pushed aside with a "you'll be fine, stop being so sensitive," where anger was punished with silence, shame, or rage, your young brain formed an equation that felt, at the time, like pure survival logic. Showing how I feel equal sign, being too much equal sign, losing love equal sign, being abandoned. So that child, maybe you, maybe someone you love, learn to swallow it down. To build what I think of as a quiet fortress. 4 walls made of composure and stillness, with all the real, raw, aching feelings locked safely inside. And the heartbreaking part? Decades later, the moment conflict rises in an adult relationship, that same little child inside reaches for the only tool they ever knew. The fortress walls go up again. Disappearing feels safer than being abandoned. Again. For many women, the silence isn't rooted in childhood. It was learned in a relationship that should have been safe and wasn't. Think about this. Imagine you once loved someone who, every time you tried to speak your truth, used your words against you. They twisted your feelings into evidence of your flaws. You said, "I felt hurt when you did that." And somehow, by the end of the conversation, you were the one apologizing. You cried, and they called you manipulative. You explained yourself, and they told you you were too sensitive, too emotional, always making things about you. After enough of those moments, your nervous system stops trying, not because you have nothing to say, but because you've learned, painfully, at a cellular level, that speaking only ever made things worse. So you chose silence, not to punish, not to be difficult. But because somewhere inside you, the only way to stay safe was to stop giving anyone the ammunition to hurt you again. If this resonates with you, I want you to hear this clearly. That was not weakness. That was survival. But I also want you to know, and we'll come back to this, that you deserve a love where your voice is finally safe. And then there are those who carry no particular wound, no dramatic history. Their silence simply comes from the way their inner world has always worked. Psychology describes 2 kinds of emotional processors. The first kind thinks out loud. They process by speaking. The words tumble out, sometimes messy, sometimes circular, and through the talking, understanding eventually arrives. Silence, for them, feels suffocating. But the second kind, and this is the kind who tends to go quiet, processes entirely on the inside first. They are what psychologists call internal processors. For them, speaking before the internal sorting is done doesn't create clarity. It creates chaos. Imagine a mind like a library that's been hit by a windstorm. Every book, every feeling, every memory scattered across the floor. Before they can hand you anything useful, they need time, alone, in the quiet, to pick everything up, sort it, find the right shelf. Then they can speak. And when they do, it will be worth waiting for. If you push them to respond before they're ready, you're not helping them find the words. You're scattering the books all over again. Now here's what I need you to understand, truly understand, down to your bones, because this is where the most heartbreaking misreading happens. Their silence is not empty. While the world sees stillness, sees what might look like cold distance or deliberate withdrawal, inside that person, there is a storm unlike anything you could imagine. Neuroscientists have a name for what's happening in the brain during these moments: the overactivation of the default mode network, the system responsible for deep self-reflection, memory, and imagining the future. When you're in that silence after an argument, your mind isn't resting. It is working at an intensity most people will never experience in their entire lives. Inside, thousands of questions are colliding at once, all demanding to be answered simultaneously. Was it something I said? What did their tone mean? Am I the problem? If I speak, will I make it worse? Do they still love me? The conversation replays, frame by frame, each detail examined and re-examined like a detective who cannot afford to miss a single clue. They are not withdrawing from you. They are lost in a maze with no clear exit. And every time someone knocks on the door and demands they come out right now, the maze only gets more tangled. People who go quiet during conflict are often, without realizing it, protecting you. There is a concept in psychology called the window of tolerance, a space within which we can feel our feelings and still communicate with care. When someone who tends to go quiet gets pushed past their limit, they don't just feel overwhelmed. They feel a dark tide rising, something fierce and jagged and potentially devastating. They know, because they know themselves deeply, that if they open their mouth right now, what will come out won't be honesty. It will be something they cannot take back. Words shaped like weapons, the kind that leave marks that never fully heal. So they hold the storm inside themselves, like cupping a flame in your bare hands, because they love you too much to let it burn you. The silence you might be reading as punishment or coldness, it is actually one of the most profound acts of love they know how to give. The more you push someone who is frozen in silence, the deeper they freeze. You've seen this. Maybe you've lived it. One person following the other from room to room, voices rising. Why won't you just talk to me? This is not okay. This is not fair. And what that person doesn't realize, what I gently want to say now, is that for someone already in a freeze state, every demand to speak feels like being asked to sing while drowning. It doesn't release them. It confirms what they already feared most. My emotions are too much. I am too much. I don't have the right to feel this way. And so they either retreat completely or they say whatever words will end the pressure. Not the truth, just the exit. And real connection slips further away. Here's the tender truth at the center of all of this. The silence is not permanent. It only feels that way. Even in the deepest freeze, the nervous system is quietly, constantly scanning. Not for perfect words or perfect explanations, just for one thing, safety. And the most powerful thing you can do for someone you love who has gone quiet, more powerful than any technique, any perfectly chosen phrase, is simply to stop chasing them and stay. Not with frustration, quietly simmering under your patience, but with genuine, grounded, I see you presence. Try something like this, not word for word, but in your own warm voice. I can see you're overwhelmed, and I'm not going to push you. Take all the time you need. I'll be just in the next room, and whenever you're ready, I'll be here, not to argue, just to listen, and then actually leave. Give them the room. Give them the quiet. That single act, stepping back without slamming a door, without sighing loudly, without making them feel guilty for needing space, can do more for the nervous system than an hour of conversation. It whispers to the part of them that's been braced for impact. You are safe here. You don't have to be anything other than what you are right now, and they will come back. Not because you forced them, but because you showed them something rare and precious, that their silence is accepted. And now, if you are the one who goes quiet, I want to speak directly to you for a moment. The way you process pain is not a flaw. It is not something broken in you. You are not cold. You are not uncaring. You are not too much, and you are not enough. You simply move through the interior world more slowly and more deeply than most. That is not a weakness. That is a gift, though I know it has not always felt like one. But here's the one thing I gently ask you to consider. Silence is a sanctuary, but a sanctuary that never opens its doors eventually becomes a prison. The people who love you, the good ones, the safe ones, cannot follow you inside if you never show them where the door is. So here is something you can practice, a small act of enormous courage. Instead of simply going quiet and leaving the people you love confused and frightened, give them one small signal, a text, a note. A few spoken words. I'm not shutting you out. My mind is just overwhelmed right now and I can't find the words yet. Give me 30 minutes. I will come back to you. I promise. That one sentence is a bridge. It holds the space open. It says, I'm still here. I still love you. I just need to find myself before I can find you. That is how you begin to take your silence back from your old wounds and turn it into something chosen, something powerful, something that serves both of you. Here's what I want to leave you with today. People who go quiet when they are hurt, you, perhaps, are not broken. They are not difficult. They are not a puzzle no one can solve. They are people who have learned to carry enormous things without making a sound. They are people who, when they finally do choose to speak, do not throw words carelessly. Every sentence has been sifted through 100 filters of honesty and care. When they say they are hurting, that pain has been real for a very long time. When they say they love you, that love has already survived storms most people never face. Their silence, in the right light, is not distance. It is depth. And one day, maybe today, maybe already, they will find people who can sit beside them in that quiet without needing to fill it. People who understand that silence is not a closed door, but an open one. An invitation to come closer, not with noise, but with presence. If you see yourself in what I've shared today, if you are someone who goes quiet or someone who loves them, please share this with someone who needs to hear it. You never know whose heart is waiting for exactly these words without knowing what to call, what they've been carrying all this time. And if this brought you even a small measure of comfort, of feeling seen, leave me a comment below. I read every single one. This community matters deeply to me, and you matter deeply to me. Take care of yourself today. You deserve that, and I'll see you in the next one.